It's not new per se, but Puyo Puyo Tetris came out semi-recently here in the West for the PS4 and Switch. Now, I don't own the game on account of not owning either system, but I have played it quite a bit, and I can confirm it is fucking awesome. Tetris needs no introduction, but Puyo Puyo is a bit more uncommon here. It's probably best known as Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine. But that doesn't mean it's completely unknown. We have gotten some derivatives, such as Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo! Also, I'm sorry about the video quality on this one. Technical issues completely messed up another video I was planning on, and it didn't increase the resolution for this one. Maybe I should use this thing more often so I know how it works.
Okay, so why? I know Street Fighter was on top of arcades in the 90s, but why make a puzzle game out of it? At least Street Fighter 2010 and Final Fighter action games, where did this come from? Far as I can tell, it was only because Puyo Puyo 2 was popular and Capcom wanted to cash in. And not only did they cash in, they surpassed the original. Well, that's subjective, but it's how I feel. Of course, I can't assume you know how Puyo Puyo works, so I have to start explaining from scratch. Each drop is 2 colored gems that will separate when they land if the floor is uneven. The objective is to join as many of the same colored blocks together in a row, or preferably a more cumbersome larger block. Every once in a while, a colored orb will be part of the drop, and touching a matching colored block will destroy it and anything of the same color touching it in a chain. This is a naturally competitive game. Even in single player, you're always fighting someone. Destroying the blocks on your field not only clears them up, it drops garbage on your opponent to make their life harder. But unlike Puyo Puyo, it's not just gray trash that completely hinders them. They're colored and the drop pattern varies between characters, which makes different characters actually different. And the reason they're colored is that after 5 turns, the garbage turns into normal blocks you can work with. This is a mechanic I really love because it's easier to make a comeback when you don't have mounds of trash obscuring all your usable pieces, and not having to match 4 to get rid of these blocks makes it a little easier to slowly chip away at the mess. That's not to say it's impossible to make hella impressive comebacks in Puyo Puyo, but it's easier to do it here. It lowers the skill floor to a more normal player, so I see more fair fights instead of a massacre a skilled Puyo Puyo player can pull out. And not to say you can't get good at this, because a lot of the skills are transferable. You still want to set up chains of destruction to deal more damage, you still want to clear garbage away with other blocks, you still want to set up the blocks in long stretches or those larger blocks that deal extra damage. It is still a puzzle game that requires smart playing and a little luck hoping you won't get buried. It's just also got equalizers like these diamonds. They appear every 25 turns and destroy every block of the color they land on. It's great for clearing yourself out, but not dealing much damage. Like any good puzzle game, Puzzle Fighter is at its best with another person. Not that it's really any different in single player, but there's something more heart-pounding and exciting when it's another human feeling your wrath. I don't have footage of it, but take my word for it, it's amazing. Can your favorite Street Fighter character beat their favorite Darkstalkers character? Yeah, despite being a Street Fighter game, they share the spotlight evenly with Darkstalkers as the only representatives. Oh, and Princess Devillotte Death Satan IX from Capcom's most popular game, Cyberbots. Now, I've only been describing X mode up to this point, and that's because it's the main mode from the arcade release, but later ports added 2 extras. Y mode is easier to explain and get a handle on. Blocks disappear when 3 or more of the same color are placed in a straight line, whether horizontal, vertical, or diagonal. But honestly, this mode feels like an afterthought for those who found X mode too complicated. It's missing all the cool stuff, and all it offers is a super meter that creates a specific color diamond. I've barely played this mode, but it never felt like there was strategy. My chains always felt like flukes. But it doesn't even compare in not fun to Z mode. In this, blocks slowly rise from the bottom of the field, and your only form of manipulation is rotating gems within a square cursor. It sucks because it gives you so little control with very few chances to destroy anything. And even if you've got a large block you're trying to get an orb to, if it even scrapes against the same color on the way over, it locks in place and you probably wasted getting rid of one block. And since the large gems take up at least the entire cursor, they can't be moved aside from maybe taking out their footing. It takes forever to complete a round and it's so hard to control the board. There's no energy and it's really boring. So there's only one mode that's worth playing. That's really okay, because that one mode is amazing. It's my favorite puzzle game, at least of the falling block variety. Side question, why has that genre become known as simply puzzle game, despite not really being a puzzle? It's less reliant on good draws than Tetris, more accessible than Puyo Puyo, more competitive and faster than Dr. Mario. The charming presentation helps, with the chibi and animated characters fighting along with the real battle, accentuating powerful attacks. And the music is energetic and pumping. I love this rendition of Ryu's theme. It's the ultimate combination and I absolutely recommend it. So, what version? It's been released on nearly a dozen platforms since 1996. Any one of them is a valid choice. Are you old school enough to buy it on the PlayStation or Saturn? Do you prefer portability to multiplayer enough to buy it on the GBA or PSP? Maybe you're okay with importing to get the most content with the Dreamcast. Is it still available on iOS, or did Capcom abandon it after compatibility took it? Or, most likely, you'll pick up HD Remix, available on Xbox 360 and PS3, the version I've been playing. It's very bare, mostly based on the arcade version with the addition of Y and Z mode from the Dreamcast, but it's the cheap alternative, frequently available for a couple dollars. And it features rebalanced characters and mechanics, technically making it the most polished rendition of the game, as well as updated visuals that look great aside from the awful sprite scaling. And, of course, online multiplayer that no one's playing, so I can't test it. It's still limited to 2 players, no matter what Wikipedia says. That's a huge missed opportunity, with widescreen televisions able to handle more than that, but at least you can create a custom drop pattern. Can you even tell what I did here?
I know. Puzzle Fighter will never overthrow Mother Tetris. I'm not saying it should. Maybe Puzzle Fighter would be more popular if Capcom turned it into a series instead of just porting the same game over and over, but I suppose that's been Capcom's MO forever. Point is, it can get boring playing Tetris every time you've got the hankering for blocks. Variety is the spice of gaming. This just happens to be the one I like best. Yeah, it's my channel, you're hearing my opinions. Why else do you think everything I do is 2 degrees from Mega Man?